The last two components we talked about are RAM and hard disk. Each of these have their own advantages and disadvantages. RAM is fast, much faster than your hard disk, so fast that you really would not be able to work using your hard disk. However, RAM is volatile. That means that when your computer is turned off, all data in it is lost. Hard disks, on the other hand, are non-volatile. These do not lose data when your computer is turned off. So what happens when your computer runs out of RAM? What happens if you open up too many applications and it simply can't fit any more in RAM? To handle this scenario, most modern operating systems use what is referred to as a page file or swap file. This is a large file on a disk used to temporarily store data held in RAM so space can be freed up for new data. The process of moving data to and from this file is known as paging or swapping. It slows down your computer considerably. Therefore, if your computer is swapping a lot, you might be able to increase performance simply by adding some RAM to it. We can use hard disk for RAM and page files, but we can also use RAM for hard disk. This is known as caching. So what is cache? You can think of cache as storing data in a more easily accessible place. There are times a hard disk might be cache, such as storing data for a website that we visit a lot. In this case, however, we're talking about storing data in RAM. Why would we want to do this? When you click the Save button on your computer, the computer does not consider the file saved until it receives acknowledgement from the storage. This is usually pretty fast because we typically deal with small files, but what if you're storing a large amount of data, such as the rendering of an animated movie or large calculated amount of data? In such a case, it might take a lot of time to save, and your system might freeze up waiting for a response from the storage. In such a case, we might make use of cache. We would store the data in RAM and send back the confirmation response. Then the computer can move from RAM to non-volatile storage on its own time. There is, of course, a risk of data loss due to a power failure, but this is a calculated risk some businesses take depending on the type of data.